Episode 2, Uncovering the Roots of Overthinking. In our last episode, we learned that overthinking isn't something to fight or suppress. Through the monkey example, we discovered how our attempts to control thoughts often make them stronger. If you haven't seen the first episode, we encourage you to go back and watch it for deeper insights. This realization taught us that fighting our thoughts only fuels them, much like wrestling with shadows. But if the solution lies within, what stops us from seeing it clearly? Today, we take the next step in our journey to uncover the hidden roots of overthinking, exploring where it begins and how it keeps us trapped. High in the mountains stood a serene monastery, surrounded by lush greenery and tranquil silence. It was a haven for those seeking peace and wisdom. One day, a troubled scholar arrived, his steps heavy with the weight of his thoughts, his heart restless with unease. "Master," the scholar began, his voice quivering, "I cannot understand what's wrong with me. My mind, it's like a storm. I replay every decision, doubting if it was the right one. I imagine countless outcomes for the simplest choices. The harder I try to stop these thoughts, the worse it becomes." The master didn't respond immediately. Instead, he gestured for the scholar to follow him. Together, they walked to the monastery stables, where a young horse stood near a post, quietly grazing on some grass. "Do you see this horse?" the master asked. The scholar nodded, intrigued. "This horse was once free," the master explained, "roaming the fields without a care. But one day, it encountered a storm. The thunderclaps frightened it so deeply that it ran, desperate to escape the sound. Though the storm eventually passed, the fear remained. Now, the horse stays near this post, trembling even at the gentlest breeze. It stays, not because it is tied, but because it believes the storm is still out there." The story returns to the present, with the horse grazing peacefully but staying near the post. The scholar frowned as he observed the horse. "Master, are you saying I am like this horse?" he asked hesitantly. The Zen Master smiled, his eyes reflecting calm wisdom. "What do you think?" the master replied gently. The scholar hesitated, his gaze fixed on the horse. "Perhaps my thoughts are like the wind, stirring up fears from the past. I keep overthinking, trying to prepare for storms that may never come. And yet, like this horse, I stay stuck, even though the storm has long passed." The master walks forward and gently waves at the horse, encouraging it to move. The horse takes a few hesitant steps into the open field. The master did not force the horse, for it was never tied. Instead, he simply encouraged it. The horse paused, looking back with uncertainty, then slowly stepped forward into the open field, its movements tentative but free. "Master," the scholar said softly, "I see now. My fear is the root of my overthinking. But how do I free myself from it?" The master placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder and replied, "That is a journey you must take for yourself. Return when you are ready to walk that path." The scholar bows deeply to the master, the horse galloping freely in the distance. The story drifts to the horizon where the sun is setting, bathing the mountains in golden light. Overthinking is often rooted in fear, fear that we carry from the storms of our past. Like the horse staying near the post, we too can find ourselves stuck, not by external ties, but by the memories of fear. Recognizing this is the first step to freedom. These fears manifest in various ways. Rumination, replaying past mistakes, trying to fix what's already done. Paralysis by analysis, overanalyzing, delaying decisions in fear of making the wrong one. Catastrophizing, imagining the worst, exhausting yourself over problems that may never happen. Perfectionism, obsessing over details, believing only perfection will save you. Self-doubt, questioning your worth, thinking your way to confidence. Procrastination, delaying action, hoping more time will make things clearer. But how do we move forward? How do we untangle ourselves from these fears? That is a story for another day. Subscribe to our channel for more stories of wisdom and insight. Until next time, may your mind find peace and your heart find courage.